What up, though, y'all? We back with another one. I wanted to touch on Dwayne Wade situation. For everybody feel like they got so much to say and all this, it's like you got to do your research first. Now, we all done grew up with family members or people we done seen grow and come out the womb that act like this. So it's no misconception that this can happen in this time of age. Now, God don't make no mistakes. But you got a government that's playing God. And as much as it sounds like you beating on deaf ears, it's a fact. I can back all this up with facts. You can Google this shit yourself. Now, it's a chemical called Atrazine, I want to say. And a doctor, a black biologist, he's still a doctor, but a black biologist named Tyrone Hayes. He was brought on by a pesticide company, to test their products. Like, as a biologist, break the chemical compounds down or whatever. He later figured out that this atrazine chemical that was spraying on corn and crops and golf courses and fields of turf, stuff like that, stopped from the pesticides and the erosion of certain stuff, right? But it's still a chemical nonetheless. The compound in that chemical changes your molecular structure to stop from producing testosterone. Now, I used to say this a while ago. I remember, I don't know whose status it was on. I think it was on Will Cooper's status. And it was a while ago, and people were saying, like, fuck that fag shit, and a lot of crazy stuff. And I had to break it down, like, look, you really can't say nothing, because even the LGBTQ community don't even know this information. So I'm gonna bring you this information today. Dr. Tyrone Hayes, Google him. So the atrazine induces a chemical called aromatase, which is a estrogenic compound that basically overly produces estrogen, which causes an imbalance in your body. Now, you see the breast cancer movement is just so big, and we all walk for breast cancer, but the cure to breast cancer is a raw vegan diet. It's never been that simple in people's eyes to just eat right. The foods are cancer causing. A lot of stuff you're doing is cancer causing. People that live in certain areas where it's smog and stuff, is breaking down your body every single day. All for fame, all for ego driven stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of negativity, like on the negative side of the pinwheel. It's not a lot of stuff on the positive. And negative sales. You get what I'm saying? It sells. That's proven. But you got to change yourself for that to stop selling. You get what I'm saying? It's like it start with you. It don't just start with a group of people, or you waiting on a savior to crack the sky, or you waiting on I don't know, whoever public figure you want to just go against the system. It's a whole system already in place. The water system, the agriculture system, they got a lock on everything. People laugh at America, literally. That's why it's being depicted in that way. People that voted for Trump and all this type of stuff, and the way he making this seem, that man is a businessman nonetheless. And regardless of the racism, or he knows what this engine feeds on, so he don't care about your personal feelings. He know how this shit is made. He know how this structure is, and he know how sensitive y'all are. That's not gonna take no action. You're not gonna stop buying food like foods. You're not gonna switch to a raw vegan diet. What I would encourage you to. You're not gonna change your whole way of looking at life. You're not gonna change the stuff you see on TV. You're not gonna stop giving your likes, your attention, and your streams to negativity. The world is built on that. So, of course, if the world built on that just from you putting that out here through this phone or through a camera or whatever, they feed off that. That energy shit is real. It's a frequency, a vibration is real. And they know that. They acknowledge that. They the one who wiped all our history away. We still trying to pick up the pieces. I'm still figuring stuff out every day. It's so much history to be figured out. And if you just figure out history, you'll be a whole different person. You will literally crack that shell and come up out of there, and you hear me? And nothing can stop you at that point. Whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, you're going to have an awakening in some type of way if you just dig into the history books. Your history, not their history. Their history starts at a certain point. Our history is, man, so long. You get what I'm saying? So the more you dive into it, it's scary, but it's life. It's real life. Living in the hood is scary, but you overcame it. You telling me you Googling some stuff is more scary than bullets flying by your window? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. So you kind of got to reconcile with yourself and ask yourself what's really important. And letrozole stops the breast cancer in its tracks. Basically, you make up a chemical, you know what I'm saying, and then you come up with the cure. And that's how that's what Dave Chappelle was talking about. That's what, with the Iceberg Slim situation, you beat her till she beg you for mercy, and then you take care of her, and now you got her mind. It's the same thing they've been doing everywhere, and that's why Dave Chappelle's so outspoken. And he kind of like, fuck y'all, I don't care, because y'all don't even know what's, you know what I'm saying, it's fake news. So when you get into certain counters with certain people, it's not even worth it half the time. Getting on the internet going crazy is not worth it until you know what's really real. What's really real. So you came up with aromatase, which is an estrogenic property, and then you come up with letrozole, selling to big pharma, you making billions because everybody walking for breast cancer. Everybody love their mama. Everybody love their grandma. Everybody love their sister. You know what I'm saying? Everybody love their mama. Everybody love all the females. We love the females. Duh. They the matriarch of this society. But you got to think, they don't like that. They like to be bitches. They want y'all to be bitches and hoes. You know what I'm saying? They don't want people to look at y'all in a higher regard. They want men to feel like they ruling everything. But it's really just a balance. It's really just a balance. And the way the world is portraying all this stuff, it's letting you know that you are of value. You gotta understand that. All this stuff that's happening to us, whether it's police shooting us, whether it's the Constitution, whether it's laws in place, whether it's courts and DNA stuff that's messed up, all type of stuff, man. And they look it over because they don't look at us as value because you don't value yourself. So if you don't wake up soon, your kids is going to be in a world of trouble because they not going to know the reality because you don't know the reality. That's what's going to separate them from the weak and the strong, man. That's just how it's going to happen. And that company was hacking his email, the Syngenta company. The only other company I know off the back of my head is Monsanto. I watched a couple documentaries on them. They diabolical with theirs. They bought out farmers to like farmers that was making organic produce. They bought them out when they had acres of land and put their genetically modified seeds on their land and made them pay for it. Basically boloed the farmers because the farmers is simple people. They grow their crops. That's all they do all day. They gonna sell it and they get their money back. That's their job. They love to give to people. They love to see the people reaction when they get organic produce, something that's not been tampered with in the warehouse. When you get to a certain level of life, you're going to appreciate that more than a lot of stuff because food is life. You eat to live. You don't live to eat. So Syngenta figured out that their compound was, well, I think they knew, honestly, but he figured out for them and they thought he was going to be their hamster. Like, okay, you know, adjust the paperwork. But what they didn't realize, he like, bro, y'all about to start an epidemic. Now, this happened all the way in the 2000s, man. So, and this never came out nowhere. I just happened to find this off looking at, because the way the agenda was, you know what I'm saying? It's just like they was pushing the gay agenda on everybody. I was like, okay, it ain't shit to be gay, bro. But, you know, stay over there with that shit. But whatever. Why is it being pushed on everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the issue? And it's the media engine that's doing it. It's nothing personal against another person that want to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an issue. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. It's that simple. But I had to see, like, okay, what's causing this? Because if this is not a natural thing, and this is another thing when it comes to religion and tradition, a lot of shit, Christians abandon that, and then it'll be mainly, bam, they all in the church. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of that is, you see how the engine is going with the religion, the legislation, the government. It's just like all the same, tax-free, getting, you know what I'm saying? Pressing a message, and the more you dig, bro, the more you see. It's just like, come on, man. At some point in time, you got to wake up. If that separates you from everybody around you, then fuck it. You want to be sitting in a abyss of lies and a false reality. You basically in a simulation in your own little perceptive way. Because you running around believing certain things that's not, you ain't fact check nothing. You just run around saying something, you claiming gang with something. So Syngenta basically wanted to cover up everything once he started speaking out about it, right? Now, he worked at I think the University of California, Berkeley. He was a biologist there. He taught there and everything. He is accredited real life person that not, no kinks in his armor. He just loves what he do. So he goes to his school dean. He goes to his school lawyer. And they basically let him hang out to dry. Like, you on your own. We represent the university. We don't represent you. So, bam, there you go with that. That kind of lets you know where this going. You know what I'm saying? So later, the company put all this money up against him to try to discredit him. They never called him doctor when they addressed his name. They would say media outlets or stuff. I mean, like propaganda and stuff. They would just try to not bash him, but discredit his work. They would hire other white credible German or Russian, whatever. They want to hire more credible, in their sense, doctors to discredit his work. And if you got facts, you got your chemical work, I got my chemical work, let's make it work. That's what he was on. If you got a legit rebuttal against me, we could talk about it. But y'all just got money. Y'all got the media, and that's really all they thought they needed, but they didn't. And the case kind of just, slid under the rug. Nobody knows this, and this propaganda is out here every day. So they pushing this LGBTQ stuff and separating everybody, and it's just making more branches. It's nothing different than religion. It's nothing different. The same way they made Romans Catholic, and then you started with the Christian, and then the Muslim, and then all these religions are man-made. The whole system is white man Roman Empire made. This is not for us. So the minute you wake up and you understand, it's not about preaching all the time. It's not about bashing somebody else's beliefs. It's just about getting the message out there. Nobody was able to tell me this type of stuff. So I got to do what I got to do to make sure I'm not being misled. I don't like nobody messing with my reality. I just don't like it. A lot of shows I can't get into because it just don't seem realistic. It's like, it's too fantasy. And I got a crazy imagination. I'm pretty sure we all do. But some stuff you just, you want to feel real, because a lot of stuff feeling fake. Food like foods. 100 ingredients in foods when it really never got to be like that. A lot of food not even considered food is food like GMO, genetically modified products. These companies are making millions and millions of dollars. And these are the companies, when you hear people donating money, they donating to these it's only 6 pesticide companies in the world, or seed companies, I would say. And then agriculture just push you into the pesticide. And then that pushes you to big pharma. All of it's connected. Everything is connected in some type of way. All of it is under one big umbrella, whether it's the federal government, regular government, all these sub companies who own a whole bunch of other companies. When you think you're getting a variety, but you're really not. It's one person that, you get what I'm saying? So it's a web that you gotta pull the string. You gotta pull that bar of yarn and get the ball of yarn and get to the core of it. It's like everybody living on the outside is so emotional and so sensitive. You don't even know what you're emotional and sensitive about. You being emotional and sensitive, putting out negative energy into the world, and you don't even know what's going on. I mean, that's basically what I wanted to come to y'all about. So everybody that got a lot of extra to talk about, if you're not talking about these chemical compounds and how we know that people been born with a abnormality of sexuality, we saw it happen in our face plenty of times. Black people got a real agenda of keeping stuff secret, but the cat's out the bag, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. It's time to get real. It's time to just face the fears. If we keep putting it off, then it's like you putting all that on your kids' shoulders. You putting it on the younger generation shoulders, and then you cuss them out because they don't even know what we know. It's gonna always come back to that. You gotta service the people, man. You gotta help somebody. You can't just go about your life just being super solitary. And I'm a super solitary person, but come on, you got to do your due diligence while you're here. You only here for a short amount of time compared to how all this shit work in the sky. This shit time is pointless when it comes to Earth. Once you get up there, you on a whole nother type of time. So what's really real? You get what I'm saying?